Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you're well. You know, there's one thing that's true all round in our homes, in our families, in our work, in our everyday life. We just want those in power who are responsible for the welfare of this country to do the right thing. And when they say at the polling booth that they're going to do something for us, or they're going to make our lives better in some way, they need to do the right thing. They need to be honest about their intention. I think this is the problem with, politics as a whole, when you have dirty words like manifesto, and then you get other parties who want a piece of the pie as well and think, oh yeah, we'll just tell them ABC and hopefully we'll get in the door, no problem. Doesn't quite work out that way, does it? We still get left at the bottom of the pick. We still get left, firmly where we are on our arse. We have to scrabble and save and try and work things out for ourselves. Meanwhile, you get the power play with the politicians, and particularly when they say that they're going to put people first, where they're going to put the people of this nation first. And I've documented previously on the channel about being British and having my rights put before anybody else's. Doesn't quite marry up somehow, does it? I want to play you a couple of videos which I think really illustrate this point ever so eloquently. And the first one is from BBC Politics. Have a listen to this. Let's make this a bit bigger.
As Keir said at Prime Minister's questions, he's spoken to Donald Trump over the Christmas period, as I understand it. And we will always work closely with our US allies. And at the summits that have been taking place recently, those discussions have also been taking place. I can't speak to when the last conversation. I haven't got Keir's diary in front of me to give you an update on that.
So why not do what these discussions and call a NATO meeting with the US?
Okay, I think this is a serious issue, and actually on the substance of it, we agree. And I think it would be good if we could also agree on the process of it, not some of the, I felt, slightly confected kind of point scoring, nitpicking that Kemi was engaging in today. I think these are important issues, and it will be better. It will be better, but you will appreciate that diplomacy happens often quietly behind the scenes, and that's the way that we get things done. That's how we've been able to make this US president.
It needs to be face to face.
Well, Henry,
Keir has clearly worked very hard to establish a really good and strong relationship with President Trump, and we have got a long-standing relationship with the US, something that has worked across many governments over many years. Well, we have shown it in that we've secured actually a better deal than the EU on a number of key areas because of the incredibly strong relationship that we have, and because of the relationship that Keir Starmer has built up with President Trump, because it is in the national interest.
I think one of the problems that jumps out straight away is that issue of a strong relationship. One of the main issues that's come out, I suppose, is that of free speech. Lucy Connolly is back in the news again, where she could potentially get a prison recall because of being seen retweeting something which she considered to be humorous. That's not right. You got this recent thing about the fact that X, they wanted to talk about banning that. That's not right. Well, I'll tell you something. One thing that Trump is exercising to a great degree, and that is tariffs. Applying a tariff to other countries to do business with the United States with regard to goods coming in. They can also be turned around and used as a punishment if certain countries aren't falling in line. You look at what she said, and quite frankly, anybody that voted Labour has been tricked into thinking that they were going to do anything positive. You look at the damage that's been done to the relationship between us and America particularly over Greenland, when Starmer's racing away saying, oh, I'm going to jump on my horse and I'm going to go and race along with the rest of the European countries and do something about Greenland. You look at the way he was in the White House talking about free speech. We all know that that wasn't what it appeared to be. That much was quite obvious. Yet here we are with her sitting there spouting that, expecting everybody to believe it. No, sorry, doesn't ring true. And she got caught out well and truly on another interview, and that's the second one I want to show you. Let's have this out.
Rights of local people in.
And I know people don't like us even a year in.
Right, just to set the scene with this, they're going to mention Epping. We'll come to that in a minute.
As a government saying, this is what we inherited. This is what we inherited, right? There was a widespread use of asylum hotels by the Conservatives that increased enormously at enormous cost.
Yeah, you keep going back to the Conservatives.
I want to ask you. Yes, but it won't be a quick fix. We will sort it.
Your lawyers, under your guidance, have said in terms that the rights of asylum seekers are more important than the rights of local people in Epping Forest. Would you at least acknowledge that that is what they will hear? And it's up to you. Ministers can say, we agree with that, or we don't agree with it. You can't simply say, let's balance things. Do you agree with what your lawyers said, or don't you?
Yes, of course we do. And I know people
agree with that, or we don't agree with it. You can't simply say, let's balance things. Do you agree with what your lawyers said, or don't you?
Yes, of course we do.
Whoopsie. Yes, of course we do. So what she's basically admitting to there is that they believe that the rights of those outside this country take precedence over the rights of those inside this country. Isn't that wonderful? Not. Now, there's a whole thing with the European Convention of Human Rights. It's not that our rights are being treated any differently to their rights. It's that they're being treated in exactly the same. So even if they roll up on the shores, they've got just as much right to food, sustenance, shelter, and whatever as I have. That's the whole problem. Thereby, you're not really treating your own as a priority. And then to be told online on a TV program that actually what's happening is their rights are more important than yours. Again, anybody that voted Labour thinking that they were going to be in for a better time, I better think again. I mean, what's that all about? And let's go back to the hotels, right? This is the ultimate trick. Because when they come over, because of the aforementioned European Convention of Human Rights, of course, what happens is that they're treated and they're put in a hotel, they're given food, credit, money, whatever it happens to be. And you get all of the population of England, specifically in this case, going on the streets and saying we're not happy. And anybody that jumps up and speaks too loudly, they end up behind the door for it. And we've seen ample occurrences of that over time. Now, what if the hotels do close? What happens then? We're just going to kick them out? Of course we won't, because our government hasn't got any spine. The government before it hasn't got any spine. You noticed how they go ping-ponging about, basically saying, oh, well, no, as it was them, it's the previous lot, the backlog, the deficit, whatever they want to call it. What a load of balls. Really a load of balls. It's the same game, just a different colour. So when the hotels are closed, that's not the end of it, no matter how they dress it up. Those individuals have to go somewhere. So where are they going to go? Other hotels out the way? Military barracks, maybe? Well, how about houses? Now, there's a thought. Have you seen all of the houses cropping up here, there, and everywhere? I have. I had an interesting conversation with a pensioner that I know who lives in a town not too far away from me, who's telling me that all the houses, all the construction sites being earmarked over that way are meant for you know who. And it will literally change the entire demographic of a town overnight. Well, in fact, it's supposed to be a little village, but it will turn it into a town. Not a very nice one either. Think about that. Again, tricked. Have a look at the political system and what they're doing. They're playing ping pong with each other, people's emotions. I even saw a Labour political party broadcast on the TV this evening. That's a bit of an alarm bell. Does that mean something's coming? And they just blame each other and we're all here the same. Again, tricked. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching it there. On X, follow me. Share my stuff. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Toodaloo.